starting out as a young PH, I often used to glass at a nice big kudu bull, and you often get him within 100 yards of him, and you have a look at him, and he's just not quite the same bull you glassed at a couple of yards back. This until I was introduced to spotting scopes.
But love of the wilderness is more than a hunger for what is always beyond reach. It is also an expression of the loyalty to the earth, which bore us and sustains us. The only home we shall ever know, the only paradise we will ever need, if only we had eyes to see.
Hey guys, my name's Dylan Love and this is the PH Journals. I'm a PH out of the Eastern Cape of South Africa. I love hunting, it's my passion, and this is what I do for my living. So if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and if you really enjoyed this episode, drop a thumbs up. Guys, today I'm going to be talking about spotting scopes. Now, this what kickstarted my career when I eventually found out about them, because it's not a common thing within South African hunting industry. And I found this out from a couple of years ago when a client of mine bought out a spotting scope and we used it throughout his hunts. I just found that we shot better quality animals. I had a lot more time to judge the animal from a fair distance away, and it was so much easier and more convenient to plan your stalks once you had spotted them, because you could see the surroundings and what you might have bumped into, and you could have just planned a whole lot better. So guys, before I get into it, just got to give a big shout out to Trees and Camo. I've been using their camera now for some time. I really enjoy it. It's phenomenal camo. We've got some deadly acacia bushes here and some really rough terrain, and they withstand everything. So big shout out to Trees and Camo. They've got the new early season range, the one I was really fond of for the earlier season of hunting, when the grass is a little bit greener, trees a little bit greener. So that has arrived in South Africa. Head along to treesen.co.za, have a look for all your latest gear. Next up, Maxxis tires. I've got the Maxxis Razor mud terrains, the 3-ply sidewall, the mounting application. I just find it so much more convenient when you're out in the bush and you don't have to worry about a flat tire. It's the last thing that you want to do and spend time on changing tires within the bush. I'm not saying they're completely puncture resistant, but they've held out really well. A fantastic tire, and I don't see myself changing it anytime soon. So big shout out to Maxxis tires. Then some exciting news has developed over the last couple of months. I have finally joined the Tacticam team. Tacticam is an action camera that's suitable for your rifle, bow, shotgun, whatever the case may be, and they do some incredible footage. What drew me to them was they got rid of, there's no fisheye effect, and they just really plugged onto your rifle scope, turned into a stabilizer link on the bow, and you can just clip it straight onto your shotgun, and it made all the difference. I met these guys in SCI in Reno this year, and I was drawn to their product, and I thought, well, you know what, a perfect place to test it out. Why not test it in the South African bushveld? So a big shout out to Tacticam. Can't wait to get my hands on my personal camera. With lockdown happening now, it should be arriving in the next couple of months or so. So fingers crossed. So guys, back to spotting scopes. Well, like I said, I've invested a lot of time, I've invested a lot of money to try and find the perfect spotting scope for myself. What I found is when I went in and I started investigating, I started spending a little bit of money on spotting scopes. I started with the budget range, and now I've moved up into the premium class. Why I moved off the budget range? Guys, to be completely honest with you, as far as optics concerned, as a PH, they're one of your most important items in your hunting gear. And for me, I just found with the lower quality spotting scope, I had to strain my eyes. It gave it that fisheye look. The edges were all blurry. I actually damaged one of them, fell out my bucky, and just a small little nick made a huge difference in it. And to be honest with you, it was something that helped me tons when I started out. So for the budget range really made my whole hunting career evolve a little bit. So I decided to keep investing a little bit more money into my optics, because I know once I get to the premium side of things, you don't have to look at changing out your optics for a good couple of years. And as far as we know, as PHs, we like to keep our costs of equipment like right down, just so that, you know, we're not spending too much money every single year on upgrading to top quality stuff. So guys, I'm about to chat about Maven, the S-Series in particular, and it's the 1A that I'm going to be talking to. So here's my bad boy right here. Now let me tell you something straight off the bat. These guys, just looks wise, are completely steps ahead of anything else. I've had a look at a whole bunch of their competitors like Vortex, Swarovski, Leopold. They come with a nice little rubbery case. These guys come straight off the bat with the aluminium case, and it looks beautiful straight off the bat. Unfortunately, being a PH, you work hard on your equipment, so I've had to put the accessory cover on. It's a hard case, so it's blocking the beautiful orange and gray color code that I've got on it. But you know what, it's there to make it last for a hell of a lot longer. So I really am impressed with the way things look at the moment. So what does this model set aside from its competitors? Well, first up is that boy. Guys, this is a 80mm lens, and it's fluorite glass. So what that means for the average Joe is that the clarity is exceptional. Now let me tell you something. As far as clarity is concerned, for me, clarity makes all the difference within a spotting scope or any optic. You can see your animal clearly, you don't have to strain your eyes, and it just makes so much more difference. Time is a huge factor, especially when you're out in the bush. You want to get your animals as quickly as possible. If you've got a package, you want to fill it as efficiently as possible. And this helps you out so much. The clarity from edge to edge is unbelievable. There was no fisheye effect, there was no blur around the edges, and this made all the difference for me. It's got amazing depth of view, and it's fitted with a 25x50 magnification. What this means is you can zoom in right up until the animal, like this footage right here. This was taken from plus minus 450 to 500 yards away on this beautiful warthog. It's a little bit shaky. The wind was blowing at the time, and I took this off my phone scope camera. So yeah, it's a little bit shaky, but you can definitely see all the details and nice tusks. You can even see the teardrops underneath his eyes, and that for me is a nice mature pig, and I would have definitely put a stalk on it if I had spotted him with a client. Guys, as far as durability and using it in the bush concerned, it is on the heavy side. It's 64.5 ounces, and it is a bit bulky, especially with the 80mm lens. It tends to get in the way a little bit, especially when you're packing it in your gear bag. But you know what, as far as when you're out in the bush to when you're packing, it makes all the difference. And once you're out there and you've set it up properly, it makes so much difference. For me, guys, as far as utilizing the spotting scope as best as possible, as you can see here, it's got the double action focus point, so that you can turn it with your whole hand, not taking your moving your spotting scope off the object. Often you'll find that, you know, you've just got one little knob at the top that you need to adjust, and that when next time you look through your optics, you've moved off the object, and then you've got to try and focus again. This isn't. You hold it still, and it's a beautiful action. As far as the eyepiece is concerned, I went with the angled eyepiece, and that was just purely, I've tried the straight ones, and I just think that you've got to set your stand up so accurately that, you know, there's no room for fault. Your neck's got to be nice and straight, and your back's got to be nicely postured. Otherwise, you're sitting in the rocks, you're sitting in the grass, you're getting sore, you're getting lower back pain, and that's not really what you want before you actually start stalking. So for me, the curved eyepiece, you get nice and comfortable, lower center of gravity on the floor, set out nice and even, and you know what, when you see that animal, just makes stalking a whole lot easier. I might be talking nonsense through all these sort of things, but they really do make a difference, and these are the small things that I've picked out, especially when I'm in the bush. So guys, keep that in mind. Just to round it off, as far as Maven's concerned, price-wise, they're a little bit pricey, in the $2,100 range. I did have a look yesterday at their pricing compared to the other competitors like Vortex and stuff. It is a little bit pricey. It does come with a lifetime warranty. That's what makes it different, and a lot of the optics have started doing this now, which I feel it just gives most of them a little bit of an edge, like Vortex. I've had some dealings with Vortex, and I must say their after sales service is exceptional. It's next level stuff. So I'm hoping Maven sticks up to that sort of standard. But yeah, lifetime warranty as far as the pH is concerned, that's really what you want, because you don't want to drive over it with your truck or something happens in the bush and you drop it, and you know, you sit with issues. And as far as, like I said earlier, those are the last expenses that you really want to be spending your money on every single year. So guys, all in all, where do I rate Maven? Well, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. And the reason why I give it a 9 out of 10 is that where I drop it is just in the pricing. I think for the average Joe, it gets a little bit pricey. However, they have got an outfitters and guides program. I signed on to the guide program, and you do get exceptional discounts over there. So head along to Maven's website and just have a look, see which program might suit you better if you do qualify for it, or I really recommend forking out the extra little bit of money and buying a top quality spotting scope. It makes all the difference. So guys, that's it from me. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the support. COVID-19's created crazy stuff around as far as hunting is concerned. A little bit frustrating. We haven't been able to get out there and do what we do. I've invested my life now to hunting and conservation, and COVID hit me about 50 steps back. So every little bit of people that subscribe, drop a notification, or even leave a comment behind. If I have missed anything, please let me know. If you've got any other questions, drop them in the comments, or find me on any one of my social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Yeah, there's a whole list of them. Hit me up and I'll definitely be there to answer them as best as possible. But until then, to those of you that have supported me thus far, I really appreciate it, guys, from the bottom of my heart. It makes so much difference. And yeah, I'm really positive about the future. There's some exciting things coming as far as PH Journals is concerned. So stay tuned, and yeah, I'm just so excited about the future. We've got to stay positive and keep the positivity flowing. So stay safe. I'm hoping I can say happy hunting, and have a good one. Cheers, guys.